What is a atypical role of an AWS Cloud Engineer? A typical role of an AWS, Amazon Web Services, Cloud Engineer includes designing, building, and maintaining the infrastructure and systems that run on the AWS platform. This includes tasks such as setting up and configuring AWS services, creating and managing virtual networks, deploying and scaling applications, monitoring and troubleshooting issues, and implementing security and compliance measures. The AWS Cloud Engineer also works closely with developers, system administrators, and other IT professionals to ensure that the organization's cloud infrastructure is optimized for performance, cost, and scalability. Now let us see what are cloud designing, building, and maintaining the infrastructure and systems activities that run on the AWS platform. What is cloud infrastructure design? Cloud infrastructure design is the process of planning and creating the architecture for a cloud computing environment, typically on a public cloud platform such as AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud Platform. This includes identifying the specific services and resources that are needed to meet the organization's requirements, and then configuring and setting up those resources in a way that is secure, scalable, and cost-effective. Cloud infrastructure design involves several key steps, such as identifying and understanding the organization's business needs and goals, assessing the current IT environment and identifying any gaps or areas that need improvement, analyzing the organization's workloads and determining the best cloud services and architecture to support them, designing a logical and physical architecture that meets the organization's requirements, creating a deployment plan that outlines the steps for setting up and configuring the cloud infrastructure, implementing security and compliance measures to ensure the infrastructure is protected against potential threats and vulnerabilities. Once the design is complete, the cloud infrastructure is deployed and managed to ensure that it meets the organization's needs and continues to be optimized over time. What is building cloud infrastructure? Building cloud infrastructure refers to the process of creating and setting up the physical and logical components of a cloud computing environment, typically on a public cloud platform such as AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud Platform. It involves configuring and deploying the various services and resources that are needed to support the organization's workloads and business requirements. Building cloud infrastructure typically involves several key steps, such as setting up and configuring the cloud platform's services and resources, such as virtual networks, storage, and compute resources, deploying and configuring any necessary infrastructure as code tools or automation frameworks, creating and configuring virtual machines and other compute resources, configuring and deploying load balancers, firewalls, and other networking components, setting up and configuring monitoring and logging systems to track the performance and health of the infrastructure, implementing security and compliance measures to protect the infrastructure from potential threats and vulnerabilities, creating and maintaining documentation for the infrastructure and its components. Building cloud infrastructure requires knowledge of cloud platform and its services, as well as experience with tools and technologies for automating and managing cloud environments. Once the infrastructure is built, it needs to be continuously monitored, updated and maintained to ensure it meets the organization's needs and continues to be optimized over time. What is cloud infrastructure maintaining? Cloud infrastructure maintenance refers to the ongoing process of monitoring, troubleshooting, and updating the physical and logical components of a cloud computing environment, typically on a public cloud platform such as AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud Platform. The main goal of cloud infrastructure maintenance is to ensure that the cloud environment is reliable, secure, and optimized for performance, cost, and scalability. Tasks that are typically part of cloud infrastructure maintenance include monitoring the cloud environment for performance, security, and compliance issues, troubleshooting and resolving any issues that arise, updating and patching the cloud infrastructure to address security vulnerabilities, performance issues, and other problems, scaling and modifying the cloud infrastructure as needed to accommodate changes in workloads or business requirements, reviewing and optimizing the cloud environment for cost efficiency, keeping the cloud environment up to date with the latest features and services offered by the cloud provider, maintaining documentation for the infrastructure and its components. Maintaining cloud infrastructure requires knowledge of the specific cloud platform and its services, as well as experience with monitoring and troubleshooting cloud environments. Additionally, it requires a deep understanding of the organization's workloads and requirements to ensure that the infrastructure is optimized to meet their needs over time. How the cloud engineer can maintain the cloud applications. A cloud engineer can maintain cloud applications by performing tasks such as monitoring, troubleshooting, and updating the applications that run on the cloud infrastructure. Here are a few examples of how a cloud engineer can maintain cloud applications. Monitoring. The cloud engineer can use monitoring tools to track the performance and health of the cloud applications, identify any issues or errors, and take appropriate action to resolve them. Troubleshooting. The cloud engineer can use log files, performance metrics, and other data to troubleshoot issues with the cloud applications and determine the root cause of any problems. Updating. The cloud engineer can update the cloud applications with new versions, patches, and security fixes to ensure that they are running the latest and most secure versions. Scaling. The cloud engineer can scale the cloud applications up or down as needed to handle changes in traffic or workloads. Backup and disaster recovery. The cloud engineer can configure and manage backup and disaster recovery solutions for the cloud applications to ensure that the data is protected and can be quickly restored in case of a failure. Security. The cloud engineer can implement security measures such as encryption, firewalls, and access controls to protect the cloud applications from potential threats and vulnerabilities. Compliance. The cloud engineer can ensure that the cloud applications are compliant with relevant regulatory requirements and industry standards. Automation. Cloud engineer can use automation tools to deploy and manage the cloud applications, so that it can be done in an efficient and consistent manner. Overall, maintaining cloud applications requires knowledge of the specific cloud platform and its services, as well as experience with monitoring and troubleshooting cloud environments. Additionally, it requires a deep understanding of the organization's workloads and requirements to ensure that the applications are optimized to meet their needs over time. If you are looking to scale up your profile through one-on-one coaching, contact Shani Kumar V on WhatsApp +91 to 8,885,504,679. Good luck in your IT career.